Okay, we're live. Let me. We have comments already.
We have comments. Are we late?
Yeah, we have one from Bianca.
Hello,
Okay,
Bianca.
let's wait for a bit. So, when are you planning to go back to Canada?
We're planning end of February.
End of February?
End of February, yes.
Oh, that's pretty soon. So, did you book for your ticket?
Yeah.
So okay, we're gonna talk about it.
Later on.
I feel like it's only you.
We're supposed to talk about it before, but now I
Yeah.
think we have to reserve it for a private conversation.
I forgot we're live. So
Yeah.
welcome guys. So please comment. So just to check if it's working.
Apparently,
Bianca is
it's
the
really
first
working.
student here.
What is the title of the show again? MC, sorry.
You mean the title, the topic, or
The
the
topic,
show?
the
The
title. Is there any title of your show?
here with you. I
Yeah.
always put like live webinar, but I always have different topic, so it's not
Okay. Yeah.
boring, right?
It's not.
And,
Yeah. Okay.
and also like if they will see this in YouTube and it will only say live webinar without any topic at all. So
Um,
what's the reason for them to watch this webinar? You know what I mean? So it's
yeah. You are not. You are not actually having a concert anyway. So
yeah, so,
it's not like having a concert.
yeah, you just do
Live
whatever.
webinar, live concert. So definitely you have to have a topic.
Yes. But hi, Bianca and Miriam. Miriam, where are you from? Are you from the Philippines? And we're expecting a lot of what do I call them? Millennials or Gen Z. Gen Z.
Oh,
Gen
the,
Z, right?
the half of my age. The
Half
half
of
of
your
my
age.
age people.
Don't tell them your age. Oh, Ryan. Ryan is
The
our
half of my
avid
age people. Yeah.
viewer. Oh, Ryan just graduated last year. Ah, but in your 30s. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, Miriam's from the US. Are you Filipino or are you American?
Yeah.
Moving to
Lagunas.
Canada now. No doubt. No, I'm just
Probably
joking.
Mexican.
I'm just joking. But Bianca, oh, she has relatives in Canada. Okay, Bianca. Okay, Bianca, we'll answer your question later. Okay, it's too early for question, but for this webinar, we're gonna have a discussion again about international education for fresh graduates. And we're going to dive into eligibility, advantages, and then at the end of the quick discussion, that will be like 15 or 20 minutes. We'll have a Q&A, so you can reserve that question later. So, yeah, so we're gonna start. Probably we can start now because I think the last webinar we did, we started late because we were like chatting.
No, because there's no comments coming in. We didn't know that if it's working or not working. So, yeah. So that's
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, Miriam is Mexican. Wow.
Congratulations to U.S. new presidency, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully things
Okay.
will change.
I hopefully.
It will change definitely.
Oh, you're pro
Pro Biden.
uh,
I know I'm
you're
pro.
obviously
I'm not pro Biden, not pro Trump, but
you're neutral.
yeah, I'm neutral. But I felt a lot of difference during Trump's even when in Canada,
Yeah,
right? I
because
don't know
you've
if
been
you.
living here for years. Yeah.
Yeah. So for the past 4 years. So yeah.
That's good. That's good. That hopefully it's gonna change. But okay, guys, are you guys ready to start, or we're still waiting? I think we can start now.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting a lot of people tonight because the topic is so specific, right? For international, for graduating students or
Mhm.
fresh graduates. But again, we will reach more people once this is posted in YouTube. Because I noticed when I run the survey, there are a lot of fresh graduates. There are like 60 like votes
Mhm.
for this topics. I said, oh, okay, this
I'm
is
not surprised. I'm not surprised. International education. I don't know. Maybe we should start.
we should
So I,
start.
maybe so I can.
But before we start, subscribe, guys. And again, Miss Maricel, you have to introduce yourself.
Oh my God. Okay. Um, my name is Flash on the Screen, Maricel Agustines. I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. Um, I was an immigrant, I think 8 years back, 2012, when I migrated from Dubai, originally from the Philippines. So I moved 2012 in Canada as an immigrant. And now I am here with you to serve you to become my fellow immigrants as well. So
Yes. So looking
welcome to the show. Yeah, welcome to the fabulous show of MC bi-monthly.
bi-monthly. We only see each other bi-monthly.
Bi-monthly. This is like salary time in
Yeah,
Canada.
so
In Canada. In Dubai, it's once a month, right?
is it?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yes.
People are paid here
I
once a month.
forgot. I almost forgot.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start, guys. Miss Maricel, what do you think about international education for fresh graduates? Is it common
Okay.
now?
It's very common long time ago. Long time
Oh,
ago.
really?
Long time ago. It started, I mean, I don't know, guys, if you, because right now it's very popular in Canada for international students or international education for Canada, basically because for PR pathway.
Mm-mm.
However, during probably more than a decade or 2 or 3 more decades,
Mm-hmm.
people who graduated from high school, they jump into secondary or post-secondary school, either in Canada, in US, in Australia. So a lot of people are doing that, especially for those people who are in an affluent side of the world.
Mm-mm.
A lot of Indians, Chinese, they want their children to get out of the country and come back to their home country
Yeah.
and contribute to the society.
Okay.
So it's only now very apparent, I think, for the past 5 years in Canada that people who have already graduated wanted to have a double degree, wanted to have a master's degree, and coming into Canada. So it's not unusual for fresh grad to come to Canada, study.
Mm-mm.
Now that Canada has a PR pathway, they can also do that, but it could take longer for them in a way that they have to stay back longer instead of going back to their home country, which
Yeah.
is most of the time studying in Canada is usually a dual intent.
Yes. Yes.
So when I answer the questions, this international education or international education for fresh graduates are very apparent in Canada? Yes, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Especially right now.
Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah. So how about the eligibility?
they will be eligible once they have come into a 1 year work experience. Because when you become a Canadian, sorry, when you become an international student in Canada, you open up, I think, 5 streams of immigration pathway.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? So when you look into it, although you will not be eligible after you graduate, you will be eligible probably only after a year
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
or then you get a job offer.
Mm-mm.
Or even if you don't have a job offer, just complete the postgraduate work permit, the maximum one, which is 3 years, even if you have 2 years study. Then all you need to do is just either improve your English if you have a relative or
Mm-mm.
if you have a job offer. So when you look
Yeah.
into it, it's still express entry. It could not be express entry if you go into a different parts of stream like sponsorship. You
Mm-mm.
finally found someone in Canada. Second is you go into a rural immigration pathway.
Mm.
Sometimes that's actually apparent right now because we have RNIP. And another one is a caregiver pathway,
Mhm. Mhm.
which doesn't have any point system.
Yeah.
So, but usually, if you're international students, you go into point system,
Mhm.
uh, immigration pathway for Canada.
So you're saying that for them it's more, they have more chances of getting
Yes,
invited if they go through the PNP.
that's correct.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, because there are
Or
some
even CNP.
streams. Yes, there are some streams that they will they get once they got the job offer, they got 600 points, right? And that goes
Yeah,
to your express entry. Okay.
6%. Yeah, because
Okay.
job offer is 50 or 200 only, but
Mm.
PNP is 600.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah.
correct. So because there are some people think that it could be a red flag if you don't have experience, like when you apply for your study permit, and then
Mhm.
also like how about sponsorship, Miss Maricel? They don't, the government will not expect that they have their own personal account, right?
Yes. Like what I said, usually the parents would come in, other relatives would come in. Um, Right now, we're specifically talking about people who just graduated.
Yeah.
Now, if we're going to mix a couple of factors such as the age, um, for age for me, fresh grad is basically 21 or 18,
Yes.
right? 18 or 21. But if you go beyond that, of course, that would be a different conversation. But if you are a person who just graduated secondary school and you wanted to come to Canada as an international student, you are in the right pathway because you are young,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? I
Yeah.
mean, the age factor really drags or pulls you up at some point when you go into point system basis of immigration pathways.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. So I think we already covered the PR pathway. We can't, dive into that every PR pathway, right? So it really depends which province, and then your other factors, right? If you have relative in Canada, that would add up to your points as well. So it depends on your profile, but that was quick.
No, because the pathway is the same. It could be provincial, it could also be federal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when you look into it, what will be more advantageous for you when you graduated post-secondary in Canada,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's just a 2-year diploma? From coming from the Philippines, let's say, for example, Philippines, or in the US, that you wanted to have a just diploma of 2 years diploma, let's say, for
Mm-hmm.
example, diploma in animation or web design or something like that.
Yeah.
It will still pave a lot of federal and provincial pathways for you for your immigration.
Mm-hmm. So, Miss Maricel, do you think like compared with a student that has a study gap and versus with fresh graduates, they're more like likely to like have the chances to get approved,
Yes.
Really? Oh, that's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
The factors, the approval rate for people who just graduated is higher.
Oh, that's good, guys. Because like the way you explain everything, like the PR, yeah, you have more option, but the sponsorship again will come from your parents.
Yes.
They will think that you are like in reality in the perfect world after graduating K-12, let's say, move
Mm-hmm.
on to the next level,
Yeah.
secondary, post-secondary, right? And
Yes.
if you want to
Yes.
get masters, you can
Mm-hmm.
you can move on to the next one. And unlike with people with 10 years gap, then that's the one. Then
Mm-hmm.
it's a red flag, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think a lot of education agency, either here or in the Philippines, sometimes they even have a cap for age.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to process. Yeah, sorry, sorry about that.
What
So,
do you mean cap?
like say for example, if you like, there's a gap, like what you're saying, there's a
Ah,
gap of either 3 years or 5 years, they will not accept.
oh, because it's a red flag.
Yeah, that's a red flag for them because they're not processing immigration.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
They're not processing. They're just processing basically basic study permit. That's it.
Yeah.
Um, but if you go beyond, because sometimes if you go beyond that, that you have to prove this and prove that, then it will be more complicated
Yeah.
for them, and they don't have any immigration knowledge, they don't have any background, they just want to submit. So they're looking into only for the age and newly graduate, fresh grad, secondary students.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
that's good to know.
Yes.
But okay, I think we can open now the floor for Q&A. Guys, type in all your question now and we're going to answer that. So, let's start with okay, this one. Ryan. So Ryan, I just graduated last year, 2020, and I'm in my 30s already. I was one of who supported my studies, so I have no enough savings. What do you mean by that, Ryan? So I think he's gonna have a sponsor, is Maricel?
I think so. If you have a sponsor, who's eligible sponsor and who has eligible figure sponsor and figure amount of money, then yes, you can apply.
Do Do you think Ryan needs to explain that's the reason why he doesn't have money because he was studying,
Uh-huh.
right? Because they might question it because you're already 30 years old. Why are you going
Or
to
are
get
you studying, what do you mean, post studies? And
yes, yes,
just I don't know, maybe probably Ryan, you can actually clarify, graduated from
high
secondary
school
or
or
post secondary?
yeah. Type in another question, Ryan.
Uh-huh.
So Bianca is like the first the first author in the group chat. So Bianca, I have relatives in Canada willing to sponsor me. Is it possible to have them transfer to my GIC and then use GIC as my proof of funds? So it's going to be sent to her account and then
Yeah, I mean, I think that's possible. A lot of
but
people are doing that.
how would
Once it's
you
a GIC, it's your money, basically. So
but
that means they're giving the money to you.
yeah, is that possible, Ms. Marisa? Is it not? It's not a like Canada. The IRCC will not track that if you transfer money from other people and then they buy but basically that's your money or
That becomes your money. That becomes your
oh,
money.
so they're not gonna backtrack everything like where did you get this money?
No, because that's GIC. That's already bank.
Even with tuition fee, Miss Marisa, like if her sponsor would pay for the tuition fee, basically, is that
Mm-hmm.
something that you have to show, let's say, in your bank statement?
You mean to say that tuition fee has already been
Yeah, like if you're gonna pay with your credit card, it will not show on your bank statement, basically, right?
oh, okay. Then you have, if you have a sponsor, yes, you have to prove that.
Mm-hmm. You
Okay.
mean you have to tell them like where did this tuition fee came from? Like you only need to show the receipt, right?
The receipt of the tuition fee, yes.
Yeah, so
But
not show you the
usually,
transaction.
For some, actually, I would advise that, let's say, for example, if you have a sponsor, then, or you don't have any sponsor, then that has to be shown in your bank that
You
there
mean
was a transfer or there was a big amount that was taken out from your bank for your tuition fee, something like that, or
the-
it's a gift. So you have
yeah.
to basically explain. I mean, it can come from from other sources and all of that, but you have to explain where did that come from, especially if your bank account is not really that huge, and all of a sudden it becomes, um, it's like it's not a red flag, definitely, but it's
Mhm.
just that something that will catch their eyes, something that will catch their eyes.
Like when I paid my tuition fee, Miss Maricel, I used my credit card to pay my tuition fee because
That's good. Yeah, because it's
that
your
will
own
not
credit
show on
card.
my bank account. Like,
Yeah. It will
is
not show in
that
your bank account, but the thing is, when you're paying for your credit card, that will also look in. Uh, it will come from your bank
I will
statement,
go to
right?
your transaction? But you already
Yeah.
submitted your application. That will go later on, right?
Oh, you mean it's like afterwards? Then that will go. That would be, I mean, the tuition fee, sorry, the deposit itself. Sometimes, if your credit card can take that, it's about 30,000 dirhams.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
know the
know.
credit card in in Dubai they get 100,000, right?
Oh, you really?
100,000,
I didn't know that.
20,000, like UAE, okay? So
Okay,
yeah,
UAE. Okay, if that would work, then yes, fine. That's fine.
so you don't have to explain it because there's nothing to explain it because that
There's
will not
nothing to
be
explain.
reimbursed.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna answer this, Bianca. Like best province for PR, it depends. I would not focus on best province. Like, what's the best program for you, right? What do you
Yes.
want to take?
Some people are going, oh, there's New Brunswick. Then let's go to New Brunswick. Oh, let's go to Nova Scotia. Let's go to Nova Scotia. So, but it's not really meant for you. It's like as if a program, if it's not really for you and you keep on insisting that that's the program because 10 out of 12 of your friends have done this program, I mean, you may be in a very difficult situation.
Yeah,
So you have to really know what's the best program for you.
focus on the program instead of
Yeah.
the PR pathway. Like you can do both, right?
Yeah, it's basically the PR pathway, PR eligibility will tell you whether you are provincial or federal or both.
Yeah.
That's how, I mean, in my practice, that's how I assess.
hmm So I think Ryan have the question now. Is it red flag if I will be supported by my cousin, given that I'm in 30 already with working experience?
Like what I said, whoever will support you should be eligible. Eligible meaning they have employment, they have cash, like cash rich.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell them that they have a lot of properties and all of those stuff because the properties will not be sold in half an hour time if you'll be needing it for your tuition
Mm-hmm.
fee. So it's all about how does your cousin work, is net worth, how
Yeah.
much can he extend or she can extend financial support to you, Ryan.
Yeah. But do you think it's recommended that Ryan have his own savings at least because he's already 30 years old?
Yeah, because that's 10 years or 9 years after supposedly graduated post secondary, right? So
Yeah.
during that time, or although if you're in a different country, such as, uh, lesser figure or lesser currency, you will not be able to afford Canadian education, then that's the time wherein a person can come in and help you out for financial support.
Yep. I think we answered your question, Ryan. So, okay. Here. I can't read, what is that, Chinese character?
Korean.
Yeah, but Korean. Miss MC and Miss Maricel, I'm Ellie. I graduated last 2019. And with my first degree, BS Accounting Technology, and I took my BS Accountancy last year. However, I don't have any updates from the school.
Hmm.
What What do you mean?
Well, yeah, probably you have to contact your school. What happened
Yeah,
to your degree?
you mean the degree from the accountancy program?
Probably because some program some I'm not sure about for bachelor degree wherever you studied this little lady Ellie. So
Yeah.
some will not give you the degree certificate 6 months or 1 year after, but they will give you transcript because some
Yeah.
of them are only semi-annual that they are issuing degree certificates, but the transcript you can and the completion letter from the school you can actually ask about that.
Yep. So, is that okay, Miss Michelle, that you apply for the letter of acceptance before you graduate? You're about to graduate. They're still gonna require you to have all the documents, right? Like transcript, diploma,
Hmm.
right?
Transcript is usually the main one, but not the diploma or the degree certificate.
Mhm.
But if you don't have that, you must have a completion letter. The completion letter says something about 72 out of 72 units or 180 or 190 um, units that you have completed.
Mhm.
So it will say something like that for some schools, for the schools.
Yep. Okay. Ryan. It's always Ryan. Since I still don't have enough savings, since I support myself for the last 4 years, would like to seek your advice and your advice. Okay, there's no question. So let's move on. My sister lives in Canada, Ontario. The PR and mom is also there on a visit visa. I have limited budget. What you suggest? Should I apply in Ontario or go for areas far from where fees are low?
Hamid. um, I'm not sure. Probably you're going for your PR pathway. Yes. But like what I said, your profile has to be,
I think
what do
this
you
one
call it?
needs to. Where's my bell? I miss my bell. Honey, that requires a private consultation with Miss Samantha because it depends on your profile, right?
Profile. Yeah. I mean,
So,
at the end of the day, guys, like for those who are coming in as international students in Canada or everywhere in the world, you are an international student. When you have a hat of an international student, you should be an eligible international student. So, what does that mean? That means from the very start, first factor is you have the money to become international student. You should not be looking out for scholarship, saying that I'm an international student, I'm good in this and that. That will come in when you come into Canada and you have proven yourself after semester or after 2 semesters. They'll probably can give you a scholarship. However, when you look into international, if say what I'm trying to say here is if coming to Canada as international is as easy as what you're thinking, then a lot of people will be coming to Canada as international students. But if you are not, if you don't have the proper financial supporting documents, proper financial understanding of how and how much are you going to spend in Canada, then you should do a 2 steps back. Is this really for me? Can I really afford it? Because international students is affordability.
mhm.
You cannot insist just because you want it, because I would love to have for me, and when I was actually young, I like international student, I want to study international school, blah 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 blah. But then again, there's always a limitation. The money is there, aside from you passing the exam, passing the admission requirements. It's the money factor. I mean, you do not want to bring so much burden to other people just because you want it,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if you can afford it by yourself, yes. If you are young and your parents can support you all throughout your 2 year degree or 4 year bachelor degree, then go ahead. So, because this conversation or the questions that we're going to be receiving right now, MC, is all about budget, this, blah, blah. So, I'm addressing to a lot of people for this. You have to be very cognizant and very considerate. How are you to yourself, not just to the person who's going to sponsor you? How
Mm-hmm.
much will you be um, needing in order for you to study in Canada?
Mm-hmm. So just make sure that you are not exhausting your sponsors fund or your fund, even your fund, right?
I feel so sorry for the sponsor because once the sponsor commit,
Mm,
right? If the sponsor would commit, probably let's say, and then in a life scenario, the sponsor would commit just for study permit application. Let's say, for example.
yeah.
But then again, that person will not even actually give you a 1 cent when you arrive in Canada. So how are you going to cope as an international student, right? So are
Okay.
you going to just work your 20 hours per week? Are you just going to so in that scenario, I mean, be very careful because as immigration officer can smell things. So what they want is for you to study and continue working in Canada and become PR. I mean, I think last January 8th, Mendocino have already stated that they want to embrace international students because they want them to become PR, right?
Yep.
So I don't know if you, yeah, if there's actually there's a news for that. So the immigration officer will look into the possibility that you will not go astray as international student because a lot of international students will not study anymore. They will
Mm-hmm.
just work. They think that the work hours or they will actually go beyond 20 hours, which is legal.
Yep.
So when you look into that, oh, they would think that it's okay. But in Canadian standards, when it comes to law, you have to abide in the law because as temporary permit holders or temporary visa holders, if you cannot abide with their law as temporary visa holders, then what more if you become permanent resident?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you look into that because different countries have very strict rules. And for me, I mean, I'm speaking in behalf for Canadian immigration. You have to abide each one, and it's all black and white. There's no gray area, unless of course there's a child involved and all of those stuff. But we're not going to talk about it right now. But for study permit and how we're going to behave as a a student in Canada, it's all black and white.
Yep. Okay. That's very well said, Miss Maricel. Like Miss Universe. Okay. Ellie, so I'm not sure if I really graduated from that school. Huh? Because I don't hear from them until now. So when I apply for student visa, am I gonna use BSAT degree? By the way, my BSA degree was plus. Okay, what do you mean by that? So I think you took two different program, right? You can
I
only
think
apply.
Ellie, you should ask your school, not
Yeah.
us,
Yes.
because this is not about this is admissions. Definitely, this is admissions question. However, this is not pertaining to the fact that we're talking about if you're
Yeah.
going to be eligible to international students in Canada. This is very specific to school, so you have to address whatever is your concern about your school
Yeah.
first before applying for
Applying.
study permit.
Because basically, if you cannot show a diploma transcript, you cannot prove that you graduated, right?
Yeah.
You need those credentials. Okay, this one. Online distance learning. My problem is how am I going to explain to the people that I did that 1 year? Is it okay? Most school
No,
don't
I don't think
have.
so. Online distance learning is not acceptable
Yeah,
in Canada.
yeah. I noticed that with Niagara College.
Yeah.
they have that rule that if you finish an online program, you cannot apply.
Yeah, a lot of people are having masters online.
Yeah.
They have paid so much, and it's online, and it's not even accredited. The credential is just, I think, 1 year, or not even
But
accredited.
how about now, Miss Maricel? It's COVID. Everything is online. Probably they will
Well, of
accept.
course, definitely. Even for Canada, I mean, you can study online um, if it's not blended, if it's just
Mhm.
online distance learning. But there's always a rule behind that. You cannot just oh, because it's COVID, I'm gonna do the same thing. But no.
Miss Marcel, question for me? What was your status when you had your 2 week vacation after graduation? Oh, before you lodged your PG. What was my status? I have that 180 grace period before I lodged my PGWP. So I don't know what's the status. What do you have like a term for that, Miss Marcel? But
If you
I completed my
postgraduate work permit,
program, but I wasn't working. I completed my
okay.
program. I wasn't working. I was only on vacation. And then
Okay.
when I apply for my PGWP, I know that's implied status. But from
Mm-hmm.
the moment that you completed the program till you apply for PGWP, what's that? But I know that's the grace period, right?
That's bridging. That calls bridging. PGWP.
Yes. Okay. I hope we answer your question. But
Yeah,
that's legal. That's
yeah,
not
that is
illegal.
legal.
As
We
long as
call it
you don't
bridging
work.
PGW. That's true. Bridging PGWP, bridging work permit. So there's always like a gap, but you still have a status as long as you apply that you have a status and you're not out of status, then that's okay.
Yep. As long as you don't work, if you completed the program and then you haven't applied for your PGWP, do not work. Stop
Yeah.
working, right? Hello from Nigeria. Okay. Where am I? Okay, here. Okay, here. I have to sponsor. My mom has a sari-sari store. Oh. That's from the Philippines then.
Mhm.
She will cover my expenses here in the Philippines, and financial support is coming from savings from sari-sari store. From business.
Mhm.
Is that considered primary fund or a secondary one?
For a business,
Mhm. Not
that is because your sari store does not have a fixed income every month, right? So I wouldn't know from my end if I'm gonna look into a sari store
so,
unless that is a wholesale store. Because a sari store will probably I don't know 100,000 pesos, then maximum in a month, depending on what type of sari store you have.
Mhm.
Um, but you have to be sure that the sari store is an ongoing cash flow. They call it they suck your cash flow in 1 day.
Mhm.
The cash flow has to be very apparent and very evident every day for a sari store. Then you have to compute how much will your mom give you for your expenses for international student in Canada. So there's a lot of computation here, definitely. And it's quite hard because the sari store doesn't have any fixed amount. Maybe you can get an average of it, but at the end of the day, uh, hopefully the sari store is a registered business in the Philippines and not just like you open up your own store in your home. So there
Yep.
should be supporting documents for that.
Yep. Oh, I think she has supporting documents. Okay, how soon after you graduate can you submit an application to CEC? CEC require 1 year, at least
Yeah,
one.
1 year work.
Canadian experience. So if you think that it's enough to get invited, you can
Mm-hmm.
start creating your express entry. If it gets expired, then just recreate your profile, right, Miss
Yeah.
Marcel?
Yes, that's true. CEC is 1 year work experience. You cannot be eligible to apply for CEC unless you have a 1 year work experience in Canada.
Mm-hmm. What are the requirements for open work permit for spouse and kids? I'm in Ontario. Okay, so Lizzie, this one is where's my bell? This kind of question, it's so specific, right?
Yeah,
Depends. There are a lot of requirements for open work permit, and
there's a lot of
you
requirements.
also
Yeah,
have kids. So I would definitely just have a private talk with Miss Maricel. So I have the email address of Miss Maricel here.
yes, I can see. Thank you,
Yeah.
Mercy.
If we're going to list down all the requirements, we're going to finish next week. So better to check with Miss Maricel. Oh, that's a good one. What is ICCRC, Miss Maricel? Question, board question for you.
Or question for me, ICCRC immigration consultant, Canadian Consultant Regulatory Council.
Yes. Okay. Okay. I have geology, geophysics, and in my working place, I'm doing geographical information system. Can I apply for post diploma? Oh yeah, definitely, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think this is in demand here in British Columbia though. I don't see
Yes,
others.
because there's a nature, no?
Or nature. Okay, I graduated 2008, first degree. In 2012 to 2013, I had my master's degree in the UK. I'm married now, and my husband is sponsoring me to study in Canada for post. Okay, there's no question. So you forgot to include a question.
Me.
Bianca, very informative. Thank you, Bianca. We got a good consultant here, Miss Marcel.
Thank you, Bianca. Thank you.
So I always hear Canadian experience as something completely different from express entry. What is that? Is it not only the work experience that difference? Actually, it's under the express entry. Am I correct?
Yes, it's under Canadian experience class is under um, the pool for express entry.
Mhm. Is purpose travel of spouse application new? I am unsure what I should add for that part of application since he is already applying for OWP. Is there a travel form for spouse?
The travel purpose of travel is actually very common for those people applying on a visitor visa to Canada. I don't see any purpose of travel if the person will be applying for an open work permit in Canada. So I don't know if the question is valid or not
Mm-hmm.
because I just did. I have one visitor visa, but I've done because you may want to look into the questions before you apply, Miriam. So, because purpose of travel is for me, in my experience, is just for people who wish to visit Canada.
Yeah. Okay. Will the refusal of two Schengen visas affect my student permit?
I don't think so, Jane. Study permit from, Schengen visa is probably a visitor visa to Schengen countries,
Mhm.
but study permit in Canada has a different categories and different requirements. So, if you're asking me, I don't think it would affect your study permit application.
I'm from Bahamas. We don't have back here, and now we can travel to the United States or Jamaica or anywhere nearby due to COVID. How can I do my biometric otherwise? Oh yeah, that's hard though.
You may have to wait until the
Yeah,
border opens. Yeah.
you can bypass biometrics, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She may have to wait until everything clears up.
Yeah, just wait. Deshaun, should I use previous UCI from visitor's visa if I will be applying for student permit? I would
Yeah,
say
you can do that. You
use that.
have to actually. If you know your UCI, then use
Yeah,
it.
use it. I think you will use it until you get your until you apply for
Yeah,
PR,
it's the
right?
same all throughout. Yeah.
Mhm. I'm sorry. Oh, Ellie changed. Ellie changed his. I don't know, she or he, but the name. We're limited to one birth question. That's why I added the plus. Ah, okay.
Oh, okay.
Do I need to do not to do anything for 180-day grace period? I would look for a job. That's the one thing that you have to do. Like securing document what that I'm not legally staying in Canada. No, no, I did not do anything during that time. I just
Yeah.
applied and chill, right?
Apply, keep the receipt that you applied.
Yes.
Make sure that you have the email confirmation that you apply. So you have
Mhm.
nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
Just the date.
Mhm. So if you're looking for a job, that's the best time to look for jobs, like the 180 days. My question, how can I apply for my MS program and scholarship from Nigeria? I watched your webinar where you said you can help with free what? Free of charge? What was that? Okay, Miss Maricel is not free. Okay, she's a licensed
I hope I'm
consultant.
free.
Definitely, she's gonna charge if you're going to get a
Or you can get it for free of charge. Okay.
additional question. Best program you can recommend for BS Agriculture. I'm thinking of applying to KPU operations and supply chain. So, Bianca, this one probably just drop me an email. This require again like uh, assessment, or you can go with Miss Maricel. When it comes to the program, it depends on your passion, your interests, your background. What do you want to take, right? It it's
You
gonna
should bring up the bell.
ring
You
the
should bring
bell. It depends, and also like when it comes to program, you need to do some research on that. We can't answer it right now unless we Google it. You know,
and we unless we Google you.
yeah. Kathleen, my daughter is 15 years old. How likely is she to get a PR up to where age we can petition her if my husband, SP, is only graduating by, yeah, Miss Maricel, like can you get like your daughter if they're like in the age of let's say they already
PR?
graduated high school, so basically they're college right here in
Mhm.
Canada, they're basically paying same as international students.
Yes. They will be paying international
Mm.
students, but you can sponsor them until the age of 22.
22. Okay.
22. So beyond that, they have to apply on their own.
Mm-hmm. So if your daughter
If
is
you're a PR,
then
because
the
the
clock
thing,
is ticking.
the clock is really ticking. I was about to say that is that I mean, for 15
You
years
have
old,
to hurry up, hurry up. That's why it's so important if let's say your daughter is like 19 years old or 20, and then you're gonna study for 2 years. If you think that you cannot make it,
yeah,
probably take 1 year instead, and then make it work. Like go to prompts easy to
yeah,
immigrate. Right?
because the time is ticking.
Yeah, probably that one I would definitely check with immigration consultant because you have to see all your options.
Yeah, whether you still have a PR pathway, and not just for you,
and
but
also
also for
for
your
your
family.
family.
Because at the end of the day, you decided to go for a dual intent study permit because you wanted your children to become permanent resident anyway. If
Mhm.
that fits the purpose, uh, then it's a waste.
Um, my main sponsor is in Canada. He mentioned to me that he was planning to take student loan in CA for my. Is that okay? Student loan?
No, no, it's not.
It needs to be your own money, savings, right? For
Yeah, student
residency.
loan is for PR and citizens.
Uh-huh. Okay. Mm, okay. I'm choosing. Okay,
We
here.
have mild weather in British Columbia right now for winter, isn't it?
Yes. Oh, we're expecting to get snow next week. So
Don't worry, it will
I'm
just
not gonna
be
work.
1 week. That's it.
I'm excused. I can't drive.
I
Okay,
will not drive also.
yeah.
I don't
So
know what if this because the snow in Vancouver is it really that different to Vancouver Island?
I don't know. I only passed through Vancouver City, but never stayed there longer than an hour.
Because what happens is in Vancouver, of course, well, every time it snows, there's already people who are working on it so that the snow will be cleared up in the highways and on the streets.
Yeah.
However, in Vancouver Island, I don't know what is the protocol. Is
Oh,
it also the same?
they do that, but people don't park their car inside their garage. So now the what do you call that? Like the people
The
removing the
paveway? Yeah.
they just put the snow just next to the car, and then you cannot move your car anymore because you're stuck. So
Okay.
yeah, that's why in Ontario they tell you that you're not allowed to park here in certain time because they're gonna clear up the road. Otherwise,
Hmm.
if you park there, they won't be able to do their job,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
Okay, question. You've been great help. I used the 180-day grace period to renew off NCLEX and complete NASRI. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Like
Yeah,
that's fine. That's the best time
the
to
best way.
review for your NCLEX. That's what I did when I was doing my CPR and RNE. I reviewed for my exam. I have completed all the information you require for in the application form, but I haven't paid the. Oh, this is for me. We'll talk later, okay? Okay, yes, inform your uncle. Don't get a loan. Show the like fund, like savings, cash, right?
Yeah.
Okay, where is it? Okay. Would it be a good idea to mention the sari store in my SOP if it's the business? It depends on the plan of after study, right, Miss Maricel? Are you going?
Depends on the uncle's financial capability. Probably you don't have to mention the Sari Sari store because Sari Sari store, like what I said, is cash heavy, meaning it's all cash basis. You don't have any transaction that the store is earning this much, and you're not going to the bank
Mhm.
every day to deposit the money. So it's all cash basis.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I think. I think I have one client who had a satellite store before, long time ago.
Mhm.
Um, I even have, there's no bank transaction, nothing, no bank account, nothing. So
Mhm.
of course it was refused. But from the very beginning, I'm telling him that this is actually not gonna fly. But he said he just want to try to for visitors. This is a visitor's visa. I said, but there's no way that there's a transaction records about your sari sari store. Even if you put it yourself and notarize your Excel sheet, it's gonna be a waste. Yeah.
Yeah. So here this one. Have you previously applied to enter remain in Canada as a visitor visa? Is it does it
Yeah, you have to.
yeah, you have to
Yes, yeah.
yeah.
You if once you applied and once you enter in Canada, you have to mention that.
Mhm. I hold Bachelor in Science Geology, 6-year working experience in Geographical Information System. Can I apply for P? Oh, this is about study gap. But a lot of people got study gap, to be honest. I got like 9 years
Yeah.
study gap. Still got it approved.
Yes.
But
It
again,
all depends on how you put it
present
all together. Yeah.
all your documents and your plans. This is our last question, guys. What is the difference of sponsorship and petition? Which one has free education for children and up to what age?
There's no such word as petition in Canada. I think petition is in the US.
Mm,
Sponsorship is a Canadian language. So that's the difference. So, like what I said, I think I mentioned before, the age of a children dependent child is until 22.
mhm. Okay, I think we're all good. No more question, guys. But it's already 9. I think we can still get some. I think planning to score as one of my home ties since I am planning to turn it to a convenience store like 7-Eleven, something like that. However, it may be red flag, but thank you. Okay. It's not a question.
You're so funny. MC.
I'm expecting more
So,
question. It's not
yeah, because people are just airing out,
hard.
it's like
Okay.
having conversation, they're airing out whatever they're saying. I mean, they're thinking, right? So,
Uh, okay. So guys, thank you for attending this webinar. And again, this is bi-weekly. If you are a fresh graduate, then as per Miss Maricel, you are more likely get the approval compared
mhm.
with people with like huge study gap, like long study gap. What do you think, Miss Maricel?
That's very
Final statement there.
That's very true. People who just graduated, you have more potential of becoming a PR. We have more options because of your age-wise, and a lot of a lot of students coming into Canada are now beyond their age or something like that. But during the old times, like what I said before, only people who wish to have a post-secondary degree, they come into Canada. But right now, they do it as dual intent. So you're very welcome because fresh, young, adaptable, flexible people coming to Canada. Canada will mold you from the very beginning that you become an international student. And Canada will definitely mold you more when you work and you go to the workforce before coming in and applying for your permanent residence. So definitely, Canada wants people who just graduated or just fresh graduates from secondary school.
Take that opportunity, right? Don't wait till it's till it's time's up for you.
Yeah, don't wait until I don't want to say, but you're too old to become a student.
Mhm.
And the possibility of you becoming a permanent resident becomes very less when you are older.
Yep. Okay. But again, if you have any questions, again, if you need private consultation, if you think that you need assistance with an immigration consultant, if you have complicated cases we have discussed, like for example, study gap, then
Hmm.
I have the email address of Miss Maricel here. You can drop her an email. And we'll see you again after 2 weeks. Thank you guys for
Thank you,
watching.
guys. Thank you for your time.
Bye.
Bye bye.